It's a whole queen with your old mic hand. Would you show me a little black girl magic move? Hey, it's someone like I got her on my phone. It's BG.
Hey everyone, it's Joy Lene and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special vlog for you with a very special guest, Miss Kim Charles. She'll be with us today discussing all things about mental health because, as some of you may know, but in case you don't, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And even though it's just the month that is dedicated to it, mental health is something that we should always be aware of, and it affects many of us daily. So I definitely wanted to bring on Kim to highlight and discuss some of the important things regarding mental health. So, Miss Kim, if you don't mind just telling us a little bit about your background, as it pertains to mental health and being a therapist, your schooling, your credentials, all that good stuff.
Well, as Joyce said, my name is Kimberly Charles. I'm an LCSW, or a licensed clinical social worker. I went to the University of Florida, Go Gators, for my undergrad, and I went to the University of South Florida where I pursued my Master of Social Work, and then additional training and supervision after that. I applied and I have obtained my licensed clinical social worker. So I'm a licensed clinician to be able to diagnose and provide mental health counseling to others in the community.
Wonderful. Good. So, what made you want to be a therapist, or as you refer to yourself, as a clinician?
So there are a few different things that really called me to this work. I feel like this was something that was placed on my life. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, growing up. I had lots of different ideas, but, I always found, individuals coming to me seeking advice, seeking support, from me. So it's something that I decided to take a little bit more seriously when I was an undergrad, and I changed my career path to go into social work. But as far as growing up, I'm not saying that my family or friends were not supportive in any way, shape, or form, but I found myself in certain instances in my life where I really felt like I would have benefited from seeking a provider to help me unpack certain things that have occurred in my life, certain traumas. And I think that, I want to be that person who I needed in the past. So I definitely took that as a push to say, hey, Kim, it's time for you to just, change what you think you want to do and kind of, fulfill that purpose that has been placed on your life to be able to serve others in the way of providing that emotional support. So that's where I am now.
Good. I really like what you said when you were just like, the person that I needed. That's awesome. And that's really, really, really good to hear. And I don't think a lot of people think of it necessarily in that manner. So I'm glad that you got into the field, glad that you got into the realm, because it's definitely necessary. So,
For sure.
In your words, please tell me, why do you think mental health awareness is important?
I think it's important in so many regards. I think it's important for individuals to be able to, understand what, seeking a provider is all about, being able to be knowledgeable about what resources are available to individuals, and to also beat down the stigma. The more that we talk about mental health awareness, the more normalized it becomes. So people aren't as apprehensive to seek support because they know what it's about, they know what it entails, they hear from others, so it's not a secret anymore. A lot of times, especially in the past, those are the things that, were locked up, no one spoke of it, but now there are so many people freely speaking about their positive experiences with seeking mental support. So I think that it's important. The more that we talk about it, the more that we can break down that wall and break down that stigma for more people to understand the importance of taking care of your whole body, including your mind and your emotions and your heart. So I think that that is something, the more we talk about it, the more normal it becomes, and the more people, I would hope, would seek out that support when they need it.
Good. Yeah. Let's make therapy normalized. I myself do therapy and I love it. And I noticed that once I started sharing my experience with my friends or just telling people, more people have been open to sharing it with me. So I definitely think that if we normalize it, it's definitely something, that'll kind of help. So you just talked about stigma. So what is a stigma that you think that is attached to mental health and even therapy?
So there are a lot, unfortunately, but one thing is, if you go to therapy, you're crazy. If you go to therapy, you're weak, and you're not strong enough to deal with those things on your own, when it's quite the contrary. There's so much strength and vulnerability in seeking support. And I think that, being able to acknowledge that you can't do it by yourself is okay. Like, that's the best place to be, when you know that there are certain things that you've endured in your lifetime that no one should have ever had to endure. And you know that in order for you to continue to grow as an individual and continue to be whole, that you need to seek someone out to help unpack those traumas and help you realize certain things about yourself that you may do because of certain experiences that you had in your life that you were unaware of. We're here to provide support. We're not here to fix you. We're not here to give you advice. We're here to equip you with the tools that you already possess. We're here to help you tap into those tools that you already possess within yourself to help you on your life journey to continue to grow as an individual. That's all we're here for. We just want to see everyone grow, everyone flourish. And that's what it's about. So we're definitely here as a support person. We're non-biased. We don't get anything out of pushing you to be a better you. We just want to see everyone win.
Oh, I love it. We got to see everybody win. We definitely can.
Yes.
Winning seasons as a whole in our country and our nation, just everywhere. So that's awesome. So if a person wants to get therapy and get help, what's a good starting point? How can they go about obtaining this information?
So there are so many different ways right now. Again, like we said, we're trying to break down the stereotypes and the stigma. So there are so many different avenues to be able to seek support. Certain employers provide what they call employee assistance programs, where they provide a few free sessions, confidential sessions, where you're able to contact the provider, find a provider. They'll give you a list, and then you can get some free sessions where you can start off, even if you're trying to see what it's about. That is an option. Insurance companies now have that built in. Well, most of them do. So that's another way you can call your provider, see who's in network, and start the process that way. We have Psychology Today, which is a website where you're able to search for providers within your zip code, or who accept certain insurance policies. And then we have Therapy for Black Girls.
Hey.
You're able to, again, search for a provider who accepts your insurance, who looks like you, and who's in your area. So there are so many different ways to seek support. It's just a matter of trying to figure out what it is that you need, or maybe talking to a clinician friend, if you have one, to see where to go, or trying to Google and trying to find the best provider for you.
Awesome. One thing that you touched on is, a therapist that looks like you, because I do think that representation is extremely important just in general overall. So is that a concern that you would say that you have, within the realm, and do you have any other concerns?
I think that it's important for individuals to feel safe. And there are a lot of times where they may feel safer with someone who may have experienced certain experiences as themselves. As a woman of color, there may be things that I've experienced as opposed to my non-Black counterparts. So I think it's important. Representation matters. And I think that, as we continue to progress within this profession, that, I would hope that more, women of color, more men of color are, seeking out the therapeutic realm to be able to provide more services to individuals as a whole, especially more people of color as well. Maybe that will help to bring down the stigma too, if they can find someone that looks like them, that may be able to relate to them as well.
Wow, that's really good. Well, if I didn't already have a therapist, trust me, I would definitely come to you and seek some counseling from you. So what do you think is something that sets you apart from other therapists?
Well, I am a millennial, so I still follow that generation right now. So again, and I do love serving my young adults. So I think that being able to identify with them in many aspects, again, I'm not here to be my client's friend, but I may be able to empathize on a deeper level with individuals, knowing what our current generation is dealing with right now. So that is something that I do take pride in, as far as how I promote and the clients that I serve, and definitely, being able to, help them with their life transitions, their career goals, processing those relationships in different aspects friendships, relational, romantic relationships, family relationships, as a whole. I just think that it's important for me to be able to identify with my clients and continue to seek out, more education in order for me to continue to be able to empathize, with my clients as they seek that support.
Awesome, awesome. I'm gonna take this time to kind of, give you a little plug. As you guys know, Kim is a licensed clinician, and she recently just opened up her own private practice. So let's talk about Black Girl Magic in its fullest effect.
Yes.
Her private practice is called Flourish Now. And if you guys want to, you guys can go ahead and, well, if you want to, I'm telling you that you have to. Go ahead and follow her on Instagram at flourish_now. And there it'll tell you, how you can contact her and get in touch with her if you need to seek services of any kind. You can also find Kim on Psychology Today. Where else can we find you?
You can also find me on Therapy for Black Girls. You can search in the zip code. You can search by my name. The zip code I believe that I'm in is 33629, where my office is. And then you can also search for me by my name, and then I will pop up. You see me in a beautiful pink shirt with some nice striped pants. That'll be me. So you can find me on there, and send me an email, and then we can see if we're a good fit.
Awesome, awesome. And in the midst of all of this COVID and this pandemic, and encouraging people to stay at home as much as possible to help flatten the curve, Kim now has telecommunication services. So you really have no excuse. I mean, she can literally come to your home without being in your home. You guys can go ahead and receive all the services and the help that you need. So I do think that that's awesome, that that's a resource that you have provided to, all of your clients during this time. So that's super duper, super duper wonderful.
Absolutely. I do provide telehealth services, so I'm available. Again, if right now you need the support and we can't wait until the social distancing is over with, then we can definitely see how we can make those telehealth visits work for the both of us to get the support that you need. So I'm all for it. It's actually been a blast to be able to still provide those services, even though I can't be with my clients face to face, but still being able to have the technology to be able to serve others.
That's really, really good. So I have to bring this up and acknowledge it and, kind of switch gears just a little bit. But in the wake of everything going on, and I'm not referring to coronavirus, I'm not referring to all the people that are on unemployment, I'm not referring to any of that. I'm talking about the way that the Black people in this country, in the United States, have been slain, Black men and Black women. And it's just senseless. It appears as if no justice is being served, nothing's being done, and it's really disheartening. It's hurtful. And at times it's just above everything. It just makes you fill up with rage. It's an angry situation. It's a sad situation, and often we have in the Black community we also have a mix of emotions. So, what's something that you would suggest to others to help them during this time? Because it's just crazy. And it appears every time you look up, there's a new hashtag, there's a new picture, it's a new person, and the situations are just in succession, and they always seem to be very, very similar to one another.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like it's open season right now on Black people. They're hunting us for sport at this point because they're murdering people in broad daylight, which is disgusting, and it cannot continue to go on like this. So during this time, while you are marching on the front lines, it's very important for you to still consider your mental health, consider what you're consuming. Watching an individual take their last breath is traumatic. You may not have been there primarily face to face, but you may be experiencing that secondary trauma that comes with experiencing a loss. By viewing it, by hearing it from someone else, and you may be triggered yourself. So I think it's definitely important to monitor the amount of social media and news that you're consuming during that time to preserve your mental health. Think about the ways that you're able to exercise your voice and protest, whether that is, funding other resources that are, on the front lines, whether that's getting on the front lines yourself, promoting on social media when you're not taking a break. Those are all things that we can do, but I think it's very important for us to take a a mental assessment of ourselves to make sure, like, hey, am I up for this today? It's okay to take a break. It's okay to say, hey, friends, like, I don't think I can talk about this today. And I definitely encourage individuals to identify friends and family who they feel safe with, who they're able to talk to and process those things with. Call your family, call your loved ones, tell them that you love them. And also, again, seeking out an individual, to kind of unpack those things. Those are all things that we can do during this time. But again, exercising your right to vote, voting people in office who acknowledge what is happening, who are for the cause, as far as trying to get these people, these horrible people, out of office who are condoning the police brutality that people are experiencing right now. So there are so many things, but I think first and foremost, it's always important every day to take a mental assessment to see what you're able to bear that day, and to not put more on yourself to the point where you're continuing to re-traumatize yourself to the point where you're desensitized and you no longer feel the things that are happening. You're no longer enraged, you're no longer upset, you're numb. Like, we don't want to get to a point where we're numb and it just is something that doesn't affect us. So taking that time out, whether it's a day or two a week, if that's what you need to do in order to continue to fight the fight, then definitely do that.
Oh, wow. That was really, really good. Being able to assess, what you can handle. Because I know me personally, like, there was times where I had to log off. It begins to, it's just a lot. It's a lot to bear. It's a lot. And, again, I'm Black. I have Black family members. I have a Black boyfriend. I have Black brothers. I have a Black father, and just Black men in my life that I care about. So it affects me on several levels. And yeah, this is just really, really crazy. But I do want to take this time to just thank you for coming on here. Thank you for answering my questions. Thank you for speaking with everyone. And again, let them know where they can find you.
So you can find me on Psychology Today. My name is Kimberly Charles, Kimberley. Last name Charles, Charles. And then again, you can find me with my name, Therapy for Black Girls. You can also follow my Instagram page at flourish_now. That's FLOURISH_NOW. So those are the three places that you can find me. You can also, find my email and send an email to me. You can give me a call, and we'll definitely see if we're a good fit for each other.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
That's why I had to say,
If you are in crisis or are experiencing a medical emergency, please call 911 immediately. If you are having any suicidal thoughts or engaging in any self-injurious behavior, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That is 1-800-273-8255 to speak with a skilled counselor at a crisis center in your area. Remember that you are not alone, and there is strength in asking for help.